This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so I listened to the Shoddy interview with AKADEMIKS, and salute to him for doing the interview. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about Danny, a.k.a. Tekashi, and Shoddy. These are two narcissists. These are people that will say anything to validate themselves and push their narrative. Okay, so Shoddy, I can't trust anything this guy's saying. I can't trust everything that Tekashi's saying. Now, there's a lot of holes in what Shoddy was saying, and there's a lot of holes in what Tekashi's saying. Now, when Tekashi was saying that Shoddy didn't have any money prior to him, and he took care of him and everything, I mean, that's kind of false, because I'm sure Shoddy was doing something. Tekashi didn't have any money until Gummo dropped, right? The first song. And that blew up because of all the 9 Trey guys in the video. It looked like something, right? They got each other money. They both didn't have anything before that. I mean, that's the honest truth. They both didn't have, they grew together, okay? Now, first he said he wasn't a civilian, but he wasn't a gangster. He was affiliated. That doesn't even make any sense. Okay. And this goes back to what Whack 100 said, where they were sloppy. They took Danny in, a guy that worked at a bodega and had nothing to do with gang life or come from that life, and affiliated him and put him all the way in. They didn't treat him as an artist. They didn't keep him isolated and safe as someone protecting an artist would. Keep him away from the crimes. No. They went full force with him. And the reason that happened is because there's an internal struggle if you couldn't notice it with the 9 Trey. I don't care if you say, oh no, you weren't there. You can just see what was happening and see that it was totally unorganized, and it was a free-for-all within the 9 Treys, right? Think about it. Before Tekashi even got there, they had CEO Chris, and he was supplying Mel and them with product, okay? So they were getting money doing that. But it didn't look like Shoddy and them were eating off that. It was like more the upper-ups, like Mel and them, right? And then Shoddy wanted to get involved in the music industry like Mel had been with Jim Jones. He just didn't have any success. But Mel was doing his thing. He was part of Bird Gang and everything. It didn't take off the way he thought it would. So Shoddy got Tekashi, and he was going to manage him, get money from that, start his own record label, Trayway, and sign artists and take off that way. Kind of a smart plan if he saw it through. Now, where it all got lost is they tried to control him too much and give him too much power at the same time. It's like a power struggle there. And you're also dealing with 2 narcissists. So they're always trying to outsmart each other. They both have their own plan. This is so sloppy. So you're trying to make this guy feel gang affiliated, so he trusts you and that you'll do anything for him. Yet, you're trying to take advantage of him. It just doesn't work. You didn't keep him in pocket. You see how Whack 100 just does music stuff with Blueface? You'll never see him doing anything else with him. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's how you'll see. That's how you'll see with a lot of artists. If you ever see an artist with a subsidiary label, right? A lot of those CEOs used to be gangsters, okay? And they went clean with music, right? But they're not involving their artist in any gangster stuff. They're involving their artists in music stuff, because nobody wants to be. If you go clean, you don't want to go back the other way. You don't want to live your life looking behind your back. But these guys thoroughly enjoyed both. It was really sloppy, man. So, and this is going to be just random thoughts right now. We'll get a more organized take next time. But here's the thing. He said he was safe with us. He said the money didn't change the situation for anybody in the group, which is a lie. It changed the situation for Tekashi, Shoddy kept talking about how he's a millionaire now. But people saw Shoddy getting money, and they weren't getting any money. So it caused an internal rift inside of Trayway, 9 Trey, all that stuff. And Shoddy said we had an internal rift within everything. People weren't following the rules, and that's why Danny got kidnapped. But that means you weren't keeping him safe. These very people you were keeping around him that he thought he could trust ended up turning on everybody. And because Shoddy wasn't sharing the wealth, he wasn't clear on everything. Everybody wants, when you have that internal struggle and you don't have a hierarchy within the organization that people respect, you're going to have this. You're going to have everybody treating Tekashi like he's a piece of steak and doing whatever for it. And I'm not saying that justifies anything Tekashi did, but it just makes things like a free-for-all for every single member. When Shoddy's saying anybody was willing to take 20 years for Danny, that is BS. All these guys had something to lose, especially Shoddy too. He's a millionaire, okay? He just had nothing to... It's just so crazy. Now, then he goes into the whole Sarah situation, and he says, I would want to bother him now more than anything, right? So, I would say, if I had slept with her, if I had smashed, I would say I smashed. I say that's cap, because I'm sure there's still more information that wasn't revealed on both sides. Sarah, Tekashi, and Shoddy, right? There's too much evidence that, I mean, come on, you guys were on IG Live really like getting, you guys were on IG Live with Tekashi out of town, and it was spooky. You guys were like, looked like something went down, like you just got done smashing. That's what it looked like. And have you ever, like, sometimes Shoddy's the type of guy, and like a lot of guys, people are like this. For some reason, you wouldn't be attracted to somebody in another situation, but because it's wrong, sometimes people are more attracted to it. I have a feeling that they did smash. But why wouldn't he say it? Because she probably knows something or something, and and she doesn't want that out, and maybe he's respecting that. I mean, he's not in a situation where he has any leverage. He's in there for 15 years, probably 7 if they appeal some things, right? Like the feds, you do most of your time, but I'm sure he'll win some appeals and get home earlier, which is a good thing. I mean, but because nothing really, like, I think that was excessive, 15 years, to be honest with you. And here's the thing. So then he's saying Whack 100 isn't a street dude. Whack 100 has like... Whack 100 is way more of a street dude than Shoddy is. He has way more of a track record that people vouch for, right? And Shoddy, he came out of thin air. And just because you operate like a gangster, right? And you're a narcissist and you don't have any conscience doesn't make you a gangster, right? Gangster would have been knowing not to put Tekashi down like that, keeping him at arm's length, keeping him as an artist. I love how when Shoddy said with Trayway, I was a millionaire. I had other artists. I had other monies. That's why I was a millionaire. Your only money bag was Tekashi. Are you trying to tell me that Skinny from the 9 made you millions of dollars? I mean, you had no other artists. You had a girl. What was her name? Some girl signed to... Was it Black China? And nothing happened there. No music was dropped. It was such a weird situation. Nobody signed to Trayway. There was that Alshon Martin. He didn't make any money. Like, this interview is just like a Tekashi interview. It's just lies. I take half of what Tekashi says as lies, and I take half of what Shoddy said as lies. It's just to make yourself look better. Why would he lie about the Sarah thing and about a bunch of other stuff? Because you're saving face. A narcissist wants to come off a certain way, and they'll lie to do that. Then he says, ops caught him slipping. Okay, yeah, but you had your own internal problems in your own enterprise, 9 Trey, and that's sloppy in itself. That's sloppy in itself. You jeopardize your artists with all that. Then he says he claims all rappers are getting indicted because of Tekashi. That's cap. The Brims have been investigated for 5 years, okay? And that's what Cardi B is associated with. When he told, do you think they wanted that brought up in court? Absolutely. They want a record of that, you know? Yeah, that helps a case, but it doesn't make the case. Casanova, obviously been investigated. He was beefing with Tekashi. That brought heat. Just Casanova beefing with Tekashi brought more heat on him anyways. But his whole thing was being investigated for years. These things don't just happen overnight. The whole reason Tekashi and them went down is because Mel Matrix and Shoddy and all them were sloppy 2 years before they even met Tekashi. If you look at the case, the CEO Chris thing went down in 2016, 17, right? Right around that time, they were getting supply. That guy was already working with the feds. That case was being built. The Tekashi thing was just whipped cream with a cherry on top. Then he brought Jim Jones thing, the wiretap. He said he was just giving him advice like anybody would. Well, it was played in court, right? And they thought it was evidence, okay? And it was played in court. And he said, there's no way Jim Jones is cooperating. There's no way you could prove that he is or not, right? Because a lot of things would be off the record, right? But just the fact that he was on a wiretap is spooky. 50 Cent commented on it immediately when the case happened. He said it's a spooky that he was never even picked up, right? And the only reason they wouldn't, it would be a sucker move on Shoddy's part to confirm anything like that on the phone, especially when you're in jail and you're in federal jail. If you were to do that, that's a violation. That's not just a violation with nitrate. That's a violation for anybody doing time. You know, that's like dry snitching. You know, so I didn't expect him to confirm anything like that. He doesn't know anyways, and neither does Mel. Like, they don't know that if he got visited or not, and then that the line was, you know, that he was cooperating. You don't know. There's no way to confirm that. You can just know it's off, you know? And you can't just give advice on the phone of hurting somebody without it being conspiracy. I mean, go look at any case. Go look at any mob case. That's how a lot of them go down. And they get, a lot of these people, it doesn't get revealed that they worked with somebody. Look at what just happened with that big crime boss. I forget his name. I reported on it yesterday, right? It took them over 2 decades to reveal that he was an informant the whole time. That's crazy. The whole thing is just sloppy. The whole thing. All these guys are guilty. Even Tekashi is guilty of being sloppy and getting caught. They didn't do anything organized where they kept Tekashi shielded from everything, so he had nothing to offer. He should have nothing, anything to offer the government, you know, but he had plenty to offer because of sloppiness, and that's it. As far as stealing money, he said that's impossible. There was booking agents and that wasn't the case. When you look, and I'm not defending anything, I'm just spitting facts, man. Look at anything. He was accused of booking things behind his back, taking deposits behind his back. That's what he was accused of. I can't confirm if he did or not, but that's what he was accused of. And it's possible to book side deals behind somebody's back. That's it. He wasn't taking straight money from the label or anything. That was dealt with differently. And I don't think Tekashi's broke. And not with everything he has. Nah. But I do believe he probably got rid of security because he could have been broke after a year doing that. That's very expensive. Anyways, Tekashi's wrong. Like, they're just toxic people, man. Not saying they did stuff wrong. It's just like the interviews never add up with these guys. It's hilarious, though. It's not hilarious that they're locked up. It's hilarious the way they try to defend everything. It's like, just, dude, it's over. Then he kept promoting the Trayway documentary. That was hilarious, too. There's an agenda with everything. It's a money play. This is just piques interest in that. It's a money play. This is JordanTower with JT News. Tell me what you guys think below in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up button, and I'll check you later. Peace.